to explain you different types of form elements. First of all, I'll tell you why forms are used. In a web application, when you want to take input from user, you have to create a form. There are different examples of form you might have seen, like login form, registration form, etc. Now, there are different types of inputs that we need to take from user. There might be text input for name, contact number, email, or in some cases you have to provide options to user like hobbies, blood group or gender, and user has to select one or more options from those provided options. Another type of input is a file input. The file may be an image or any document. So there are different types of elements, those are used to take this kind of inputs from user. These elements are called form elements. So let us see different types of form elements, those are used to take different types of inputs from user. Mainly, there are four categories of inputs that we take from user. The first category is text input. So as I said, the text input might be name, contact or email address. There are different subcategories of text input like short text input, long text input and sensitive text input. Another category of input is when we provide options to user and user select one or more options from that. So in this category there are two subcategories. User may select one option and user may select multiple options. The third category is a file input. We may ask user to set his image or submit any document. In this case, we have to take file input from user. The last category of form elements is used to submit form when user is done by filling up the form. So let's see different elements which are used to take different types of input from user. First of all, let us see how we can create a form. To create a form, we have to use form tag like this. So you have to open a form tag and close it, and inside that form tag you have to put all of your form elements. There are two properties, those are necessary to set in form tag. First property is a method property and second property is action property. We will see these two properties later in some other video because these are not a part of HTML form elements. For now, we will see how different form elements are created. So let us see how text input is taken from user. So as I said, there are three subcategories in text input. First, we see how we can accept short text input from user. To take short text input from user, we need to create an element called text box. So this is how text box looks in a web page. Here is a code to create a text box in a web page where you can observe there are two properties. First property is a type property. We need to set this property as text. The second property is a name property. Name property is important to set in all form elements. Just like you are identified by your name by other people, form elements are identified by their name. So you have to set name property in every form element. You can also observe there is no need to close the input tag. So by writing this code, you can create a text box to accept short text input. Next subcategory of text input is long text input. Like you want to accept address or information about user, you have to accept text input which is quite long in length. In such case, you can create an element called text area like this. Here you can see a code to create a text area. Here you can observe that you have to close the text area tag which was not there in input tag in case of text box. So by default, text area accepts the text input which is quite longer in length. You can also set the size of text area using rows and columns property like this. You can set these properties whichever height and width you want in pixels. So this is how you can create text area to create longer text input. Third category of text input is sensitive text input. Sometimes we have to accept from user a data which is sensitive like password or PIN number. In such case, we can create a form element called password box. The special feature of password box is that the text entered in password box is not visible. You can see a password box over here, and here is a code to create a password box. As you can see, the same input tag is used to create a password box, but you have to set the type property as password. So just make a one change in the code which we used to create a text box and your password box is created. Now we see the form elements in which we provide options to user and user selects one or more options from that. In this category, there are two subcategories. First is that when user selects one option only, and the second subcategory is that when user selects multiple options. First, we see how we can create a form element when user can select one option. So the element which is used to accept single selection from user is called radio button. This is how it looks, and here is a code to create a radio button. Here I have considered the example to accept gender from user. So there are two options provided over here to create a gender for any user. You can see I have written input tag twice for each radio button. There are three important properties that needs to be specified in radio button. First property is a type property. We are using the same input tag for radio button, so we can differentiate radio button by mentioning type property as radio. The second property is a name property. You can observe that both the radio buttons have the same name property because both the radio buttons are from same group. So the rule is that when you want to create multiple radio buttons for same group, you have to set same name property for all. Another property is a value property. All the form elements which are used to provide options to user must have value property. In case of text box, the value property is set by user. But in this category, we are providing user just options and user can only select one or more options. So you have to set the value property for all form elements which are providing options to users. Now we see the form element which is used for the same purpose as radio button is used. But whenever we have multiple options, means we have more options than usual, we can use this form element. This is the form element. It is called drop down box or combo box. Whenever the number of options are many, for example city or state, we can use this form element. So here is a code to create a combo box. This is a form element in which input tag is not used. Select tag is used to create this form element. We have to set the name property first of all for this form element, and inside select tag we need to mention the number of options between option tag as shown over here. Value property is also to be set for this form element inside option tag. So after writing this code, you can see a drop down box in your web page. User can select only one option from this drop down box. Let's now see the form elements which provide the facility to user to choose multiple options. The first form element in this category is a checkbox. Checkbox facilitates user to choose more than one options if he wants. So here is a code to create a checkbox. You can observe that it is similar to radio button, just we need to change the type property as checkbox. The rule to create radio button also applies here, means you have to set the name property same for the checkboxes, those pertain from same rule. Also you have to set the value property for all checkboxes. So here I have created checkboxes to accept hobby from user. Now when number of options are many, you can provide a list box instead of checkbox. So here is a list box and here is a code to create a list box. You can observe that this code is similar to the code to create a combo box, just we need to add an additional property called multiple. So to create a list box, you have to add an property multiple and set it to true. By writing this, you can create a list box in a web page. So these are all the form elements in which you can provide user with options and user can select one or more options from them. Let's now see how you can accept file input from user. Sometimes you have to accept image or any document as an input from user. For that you can use file input element. So this is a file input element and depending upon the browser it may look different. So this is a code to create file input. Again we are using the same input tag and we are using file in type property. So just write the file as type property and your file input element will be created. So these are the form elements which are used to accept input from user. Now let's see two form elements. Those are used to submit a form or reset a form. So we will create two buttons called submit button and reset button. So submit button is a button that you see below any form. It is used to submit a form in which the data has been filled up by user. To create a submit button, the same input tag is used. You have to set type property as submit and that will create a submit button. To change the caption of submit button, you can use value property. So here I have set the caption of submit button as register. The last form element is a reset button which is used to reset the form or the data filled up in a form. To create a reset button, the input tag is used and you have to set reset as type property as shown here. So these are all the form elements which are used to create a form. Here is a code which is used to create a form which I showed you earlier. You can pause the video and see how all the code for form elements is put together. Lastly, I'll give some tips to you to remember the code to create these form elements. The first tip is most elements are created using input tag. There are 3 elements which are not created using input tag. These elements are text area, combo box and list box. The second tip is, if you are using input tag, you have to set the type property, because we need to differentiate each form element. So type property is used to differentiate form elements. Third tip is, name property must be used in all form elements, as I said earlier, because it identifies each form element uniquely. And the last tip is, whenever you are creating a form element to provide options to user, you have to set value property. Examples are radio button, checkbox, drop down box and list box. In all these form elements, you have to set the value property without forgetting. So this is all about form elements. Hope you liked the video. Keep learning, keep growing, stay happy. Goodbye. These are some important questions from this video. They will be helpful to you either you are taking examination as a student or appearing in an interview. So go through them and try to find the answers by yourself. All the best.